It all started on a bright, ordinary Monday morning, the kind of morning where the sun seems to shine too confidently, unaware that someone's world is about to be shaken. The courtyard of Ridgewood High buzzed with laughter, sneakers squeaking on the wet concrete after the weekend rain. But amidst the chatter, one quiet girl stood out, new, unfamiliar, and alone. Her name was Maya Park, a transfer student who just moved from across the country. She wore a simple green sweater, her hair tied back, her backpack hanging slightly too low, as if trying to make herself smaller in a place that already felt too big. No one knew her story. No one knew that behind her calm eyes was someone who had faced storms fiercer than teenage cruelty could ever be. If you believe that kindness still matters, that everyone deserves a second chance to prove who they really are, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's remind the world that empathy is strength, not weakness. Maya hadn't expected her first day to feel like walking into a movie scene, but not the good kind. By lunchtime, whispers already followed her through the halls. The new girl, the quiet one, the one who didn't speak up when others laughed, the kind of target bullies love because silence looks like surrender. Among those whispers, one name echoed louder than the rest: Tyler Brooks, the senior known for his charm, confidence, and his ability to turn a crowd's laughter into a weapon. Tyler loved attention, and that day, he decided Maya would be the star of his next joke. When the bell rang for lunch, the courtyard filled again. Maya sat near the corner fountain, sketching quietly, her notebook resting on her knee. Tyler spotted her and grinned, a mischievous spark lighting his eyes. His friends, 5 of them, laughed as he grabbed a red fire hose from the maintenance corner, still coiled and dripping from earlier cleaning. "Hey, watch this," he said, the group already pulling out their phones. Within seconds, water burst out like a jet, strong and merciless. Maya looked up, startled. But before she could move, the blast hit her straight in the chest, knocking her backward as the freezing spray drenched her completely. The courtyard erupted in laughter. Tyler doubled over, struggling to breathe through his hysterics. "Help, I'm done," he shouted mockingly, mimicking the kind of reaction he expected from her. The others chanted, choked by water, as if it were some kind of victory. But Maya didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply stood there, drenched, her sweater clinging to her skin, water dripping from her hair. For a brief second, her silence was louder than their laughter. That silence came from years of discipline, from hours spent in the dojang training in Taekwondo since she was 6. Her father had always said, "True strength isn't in hitting back, it's in knowing when to stand your ground." But as she looked at the circle of laughter around her, she felt that strength stirring inside her chest like a long-forgotten flame. The moment she began walking toward Tyler, the laughter started to falter. Her calm, steady steps echoed through the courtyard. Tyler lowered the hose slightly, his grin flickering when he saw the intensity in her eyes. She wasn't just wet, she was focused. Without saying a word, Maya reached the hose, grabbed it with one swift motion, and twisted it from his grip. The move was so fluid, so practiced, it looked like choreography. The force of the water jerked the nozzle sideways, spraying the ground, then cutting off as she turned the valve. The courtyard went dead silent. Tyler stepped back, stunned. Maya didn't yell, didn't threaten. She simply handed the hose back to him, her gaze calm but unflinching. "You shouldn't play with things you don't understand," she said softly. Then she walked away. The crowd didn't laugh anymore. They just watched. Because for the first time, the new girl wasn't invisible. She was unforgettable. But that moment wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming something she had lost, her voice. Maya had transferred to Ridgewood after a devastating year. Her family had moved after her father's death, the man who had coached her through every Taekwondo tournament, who had taught her that inner peace was stronger than any punch. Since losing him, she hadn't set foot in a dojang. She felt like her strength had died with him. But that day, facing humiliation and fear, something inside her remembered who she was. Later that week, Tyler avoided her at first. But humiliation has a way of twisting inside people. It can either grow empathy or resentment. For Tyler, it became guilt. He hadn't expected her quiet strength to haunt him, but it did. Every time he saw her walking down the hallway, he remembered the hose, the laughter, and the look in her eyes, not of anger but disappointment. 2 days later, the school principal called them both into the office. The video of the incident had gone viral, posted by one of Tyler's friends. It spread like wildfire with captions calling out his cruelty. Tyler's reputation as the funny guy collapsed overnight. His coach benched him from the baseball team. His friends stopped hanging around him. The laughter that once followed him had turned into whispers of shame. Maya didn't say much during the meeting. When asked if she wanted him suspended, she shook her head. "No," she said quietly. "He just needs to learn." The principal nodded, surprised. Afterward, Tyler found her by her locker. He looked lost, awkward, almost younger than before. He mumbled an apology, but Maya could tell it wasn't rehearsed. It was real. "I didn't know," he said. "I didn't think." She looked at him and nodded once. "Most people don't," she replied, "until they're the one standing in the water." What came next was unexpected. Tyler began showing up at the school's Taekwondo club, the same one Maya had joined a week later, trying to reconnect with her old life. At first, she thought he was joking again, but he stayed, every day, training, listening, failing, trying again. Slowly, the bully and the bullied began to find something strange: mutual respect. Through the months, their rivalry turned into friendship. Maya taught him discipline. Tyler reminded her how to laugh again. It wasn't a perfect redemption story. No one forgets pain overnight, but it became proof that people can change if they truly choose to. By the end of the semester, Ridgewood High's spring assembly featured a special demonstration from the Taekwondo club. The crowd roared as Maya and Tyler stood side by side on the gym floor, performing synchronized forms, moving with grace and precision. When the final bow came, the entire gym stood and clapped, not for victory, but for growth, courage, and forgiveness. Later, as they packed their gear, Tyler smiled shyly and said, "You know, I guess I did hose the wrong girl." Maya laughed softly. "No," she said, "you hosed the right one. I just needed the reminder." Because in truth, that day in the courtyard wasn't just about standing up to a bully. It was about rediscovering her strength. Her father's voice echoed in her heart, telling her he was proud. And maybe, somewhere deep down, Tyler's father, who had left years ago, would have been proud too, seeing his son finally become someone better. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that even pain can lead to strength. And if you believe in the power of forgiveness and growth, don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one. Before you go, comment below. Do you believe people can truly change when they realize the harm they've caused? Because sometimes the strongest battles aren't fought with fists or words, but with the courage to forgive, the strength to stand tall, and the heart to begin again.